First and foremost, me and my dad and my mom's, in all in respect and counteractive, like my eyes drawing on my face. My hands are like the wrist that claps it around the mouth, chokes around the wrist neck like a book that I wrote about the spinal tap. Drawing back in the sketches, getting this out on the audiences, putting back the stone, wait for 20 minutes to clock out, another punch out, another lick out, and a shootout for another basket for a fourth out. Langston, just like the Hughes, times are tough, breath and alignment all the time. Where can I find ecstasy that drawn to another man's ponytail, grown to and inflicted another nail, come out in space with a foretails, and spaced out on a hit with an orbital cranium with a real tall tail. Stories are meant, just like the four steps. And yes, I cop haze from the right debt. I mean, as far as like graffiti, signing hands, picturing anema, amino acid times, smoking bud, reefer whenever money are necessary, complained by moms, shaking by homes, and uncaring beings. Predication alert, and you know, last time I checked my face, an expression on my bones, and tells a mirror that I couldn't scratch through a light bulb or sit down on a stoop, politicking, finding out resident of the times, and create another force field, creating force field, broken down a hemisphere, taking another rich back with another rip plaque, and thinking that there's only two things adjacent to the middle of the same stacks. And yes, I've tried pills, I've tried everything. I tried ecstasy, I tried acid. I read books on Jung. I read books on alchemy. I read books on subway system. I took LIRR too. I took JetBlue. My name's listed somehow with another predication of my father's. And yes, I spread them with cheese just like a water hose. Problems with this stuff and another stuff, adjacent to governmental issues. And get signed up with ballin' niggas and bigger cock and cartoon issues. Like that type of things. And, it's been loony just traveling around like the scapeed of not endangerment of camera shy, but angles that explain exactly defining not paid for clear things, unclear contacts, and driven through the lies of every angle and not really finding my truth inside, destined at the sleeping moment, praying for God for a bigger omen, and messing with Satan's of skinless beings, and last predication of school showing up with another shocking, girls never took out, girls I never been posed out, never been composed in the real anatomy of inside games and such, come out drizzling like teeth in another like rain, bro. And bench warmers hitting with another hit, Taco Bell resisting a money rest, house warm west, and giving power back to the house. And I'm praying, thinking on my parents, all those relatives. How and word can I propose from another continent, another island, to say that another island where manly we're all involved as a bigger than life in other ways? And people showing up from caskets of old times who thinking that we are in search of predicated emotion, and just meeting up with a historical resignation of people and such motion detections, and meeting up with all the right men and hitting the right spot with the right people, being alone and the right name. Shout out to all my people, taking care of all people at best, trying to do my best and stuff like that. Doing my best at wherever the work is, my background, where am I seeing things, when certain people are hyped up for certain things, I should be used as a prototype or issues. Sometimes repetitive notion of repeats, or creation of wording in the languages followed by birds and speaking of Guam and uses and inner hidden aspect of inner finds and such, old age respiratory ages of higher things, bigger things I could grasp and stuff like that. Finding out, a righteous motivation and segregation has never been departed from another man, and even a creation of another time has never been as spotless on another man. We all went through other ways, and we also went through their ways, hospital ways, down ways, but still at the end of the game, we're all part of one nation or one people. And giving back to it all, things that's written, what I mean, things that are higher causing, from photographing, leading all the way back into internet life, and back to naval network, and once again, even the creation and all these things are kind of, it does predicate somehow with people of either the other findings or other discoveries, which people do not understand, which they don't never intimidate me to unrest, being a different man and stuff like that. They still don't understand why a sexist soul and restless life has never been someone and predicated to explain to me why I'm here as a person, explaining why I am giving you ideas and why ideology does receive and give back at a time without alertness, without a machine or a man versus a machine type of grants. And living a life with a gay, eroticism of either male or petticoat belief in times, and returning things with other people. You know what I mean? And not too good of a looking person to do things like departed ways, but I do maintain what I have to do what I could do with the people, following the holes of life, following things like that. Poor things are poor things, water and water, Vaseline, Vaseline, internet and internet. You know what I mean? And the more I take in, the more poor I feel inside. The more I take in, the more I withdraw with that outside life. And bigger the game, bigger the thing. I'm just a wood in a game. That's why my parents love me. That's the reason why there's a bird. You know what I mean? Bird explains life with whiteness. Wood explains life with deafness. Death with death. And hold a pale and things like that. And I still think at the end of the day, yes, they are my friends. They are my resilient of soul and such and so forth. And all the way. And no matter what, listed everywhere. I just like to give a shout out to all my peoples out in YouTube who don't want to be like school, like return to repetitiveness. I have my own show within my own colors. I have my own show within my own body. I took the risk of doing this with people. I took the risk of hanging out with people in the neighborhood. I took the risk of hanging out with different boroughs. I never once left the island of this life. And I'm still praying that one day, that I'm praying for everything, that people all been shining, people that gave me stuff, people that been loving me to the get-go, I still love them to the end. And I'm praying for the mathematical formulation people to actually pick up for me and draw. And you know what I'm saying? It's still out there. It's still doing its thing. You know what I mean? We still got things going on. I'm not gonna fall back and stuff like that. But yo, man, like, as far as things are going, if you don't like what I did to you, yo, it's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the thing, yo, I'm withdrawn to everything that's been created, that's been sent out through the life. You know what I mean? Followed by peoples and such, and notion and stuff like that. They're never right and they're never wrong. Higher people in my existence are still there. And at the end of the day, they're most three important people in my life. And also, as far as the things go, they are most important too, as far as things like that too. So I for once would like to congratulate myself for finding my own existence today. But at the same time, I could have go through the times of hard claps and the hard things. Or more of the hard things and hard clap, you could avoid and learn things. But more you don't, I pray the church. I pray the churches for power and mightiness. You know what I mean? And I still think the writers of all these historical aspects of who I am as a people, I'm giving shout outs, things. I still, to this day, where I found my resilient of my own destiny, of my own self, has never been perchulous. And the fact that the things anticipating has never been something of my nature. Do you know what I'm saying? All you have to do is carry the thing and put in a basket and depart. And life in itself is an accomplishment. And I kind of do agree with you, bro, with an apartheid of not building life and resilience of things. But as far as what I'm doing right now, I'm giving things back to people. I'm giving things back to other people. I'm giving things back to other things. I'm giving things back to people. Think I have done this. But I am small in life, and I am very, very happy. Sometimes it comes into demeanor where I am not happy. Sometimes it comes into something that I am not happy. But at the same time, man, I do have to give things back to all the people. That's me. If it's me, it's me. And you know, we have to, as a family and as a things and as a incursive life of another hits and from another club view and another things for world and shout out to my boys on the internet too, the people that I hung out with, thinking that, you know, they fell off might have been talk about this, but yo, when things do turn around and things do come in handy, you still are my friends, and you know what I mean. And I still don't forget all my memories with all these great people that I hung out with. And I like to think, congratulate my parents and my parents and my real things and my work and my, you know what I'm saying, and all the things, you know what I mean. Especially shout out to my blondes, you know what I mean. No, I'm going through hell as just as you, bro. And there's a fright factors of things, this and that, and I'm hoping in terms with the adults would actually pick up and understand, or as for far as the nature conquering our dimension things, I still as if we are here as a person, and we do have to accept every fact of much as possible. And things that gradually in turn are clean enough not to be in the things. They always ask whether or not you're clean enough or whether or not you're not good enough. And I still think, buses and things like that, I'm still down with all these people, yo. You know what I'm saying? And, like, they've been pumping me cracks for days, for nights, you know what I mean? Letting me out, letting me have fun around the neighborhood and such, like how I grew up. I need a response back on how I actually grew up in the States over here. The part in I thought the same continent of land and stuff like that, but there are poor existence and there are things of other things within our own world, like conquering our own dimension and stuff like that. You have to understand the predication of real human justification instead of also always ongoing against machinist riders and stuff, and the creation and a part that shameful existence of being in a rhetorical world. Shout out to Huxley and Island and all these niggas that shouted me out, and now I'm blaming the fact that this is what it is. And even the Scientology-wise, I'm not good at physics and math, and such limitations with growth and human resilient powers, I'm not really well with. But I give out shout out to other people, and I feel as if I could trust them dearly with the motivation that I never once cheated anybody else out, even if I did something, and shout out to my boys and stuff like that, and niggas that have been sticking with me, stuck with me for that long. But in actuality, I'm ideally explaining that I am the self-individual realistic, And the further you go, you get the further shock. The further you go, you don't get the shock. But at the same time, man, I like my lessons and all the things that I've done on the internet to really communicate with me and become me as a one. And, like, it's my pops, you know what I'm saying? And things like that, like, they're all listed on TVs and such, you know what I mean? But I don't get, like, the main time and to do stuff. They haven't built me for that reason yet. And I don't want to take the risk. I'm really happy, down to earth. And just shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Just being part of the Lollipop Factory and stuff like that. And then, just blessed, you know what I'm saying? But it's still good where I am and eating and stuff like this. Just be happy with yourself, yo. And I'm not creating genre for other people and things that come in nature, you know what I'm saying? With my sons and my kids and shit like that, which I don't have in real life, you know what I mean? Still single, maintaining what I'm doing and such. And, as a womanly thing and the guidance of IMPART stuff, like birth and eggs and things that are no good for me, they're all opposites. Somehow I have to learn the opposite meaning of life. There's no such thing as impediment of such thing. Rest of the creative things are small, and further you go, further you don't go. You know what I mean? I'm from the world of small, bro. And I'm just thankful for all these, you know what I mean? Like, thanks for everything, man. The more I detend, the more I a concubine, man. I found out, man. Like either you don't go or you don't let go, or we get a full in ways. I have to fall back and learn about things or escapade in other life on an intellectual, which I feel as if you should build me in a self and in a concubine. And there are times of this, times of rough, man, but it's good. It's my momentarily thing, and I like to congratulate you in a person. And other uploading times has never been in inclinating ways, And as far as my voice and things I have to build up, and the things of my nature, shyness, and away from my spinal ways, away from bodily ways of blindfolded life, of blackness, waking up to a belligerently some other color or dimension every day has nothing been unshameful, you know. And the more I depict, the more I think about more personal things, more personal gains, and more spinal things, all smelly, all sensors on all these things that I have been contracted with my race as a corner, and where you see me as someone else and something like that. And you know, I'm thanking God for things that people have put me on, areas, you know what I mean, that have been putting me on. And, I'm thankful for people being on rate, you know what I'm saying, like things and so forth. I get a shout out once in a while here and there, but most importantly, like the separation of powers and such has never been something of unequal, bro. Like, you're shameful, bro. Too much less and don't contest humans over machines, bro. Just remember that, bro. They could just clap them one day or another, just being heart thug, bro. That's the end of the story. You know what I mean? And the more I think about it, man, you really want me to tell you, they're my babies, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, it's different from his point of view. His point of view is completely irony. You know what I mean? And I still don't think so. Like, it's true. All the leftovers do go somewhere else, but man, they all conquer the world the same three ways as me. It starts from me. It don't start from them. It's from us, like us as a group and stuff like that. Me as an individual waiting, me as an individual not partaking in a participational way, but something of something, And I'm giving back my life, and I'm nowhere near all these people, man, because number one, like son of the light and son of this, I'm happy with who I am. I'm like, I just can't believe they can't build me for who I am as a person, being happy, you know. And I don't accept them, like it's too. I'm 100%, and you know what? Every day I pray to God, shunning these two guys, but it has nothing to do with me. It's just radical. And I'm praying for the real creation and all wars and segregation, map things to really destroy them. You know what I mean? Like, it's time, and because it's so dumb. They're so dumb. They have no idea how real life is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they have no resistance against real environment. You know what I'm saying? No respect for stuff like that. So I think as if we should avoid a lot of these concepts. Even the closest people around you, I do care about you, but no, I don't care about you at the end, because just because I'm here to live life. You took the risk of living life with me. You know what I mean? Young, old, things like that, and anything you could possibly think about. I'm trying to stay away from everything. And I'm praying one day that God would actually pray that Hulk and Mighty, all these people should save me, bro, instead of us going through problems of other people and such and such and such and such. In real life, just gradually, just naturally, just average. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with being average, man. I'm not complaining about whether or not this and this. Have I communicated excommunication? Some people say see this, some people saying that. And as far as criticism is concerned, the guy could criticize me for things and so forth. But when Snoop comes in, yo man, Snoop, you know what I mean? Like, it's the end of life, man. Like, you don't have to go through. I just don't believe in graduation. And I'm giving shout out back to people and stuff like that. When they respond, they respond. When they don't, they don't. They don't have anything, bro. And I'm praying for my colors. I'm praying for all these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm praying for the deviant things. I could be born again every day, do this and do that again and then again and again. But in real life, it's really sin, actually. Like, doing stuff like that. It's a standstill sin. We have to stand still until something breaks, until something. We have to stand in a firm belief in nature. And as far as something tips and hypothetical things to concern, I'm pretty sure he's up there. Like, and I still don't receive things, and it's still not I. And individually, man, I haven't conquered something like that as pointing and as expressive things, but they are listed, bro. I'm thinking I'm thinking other things. You know what I'm saying? as far as things like that, it's just natural discourses, bro. And some people say it's this and this that, and you know, it's my pops. You know what I'm saying? And this and this and this. Oh, I still don't know. You know what I mean? Like you could say this. You could say at the inside is the truth something, and outside is that truth. But it's my name. You don't understand Korean. You can't understand Korean. Then step out of it. You don't understand the meaning of my last name, then you should not be there to complain about yourself and start a raucous war. Which there's no girls out there. You know what I'm saying? Like the picture proves itself. You know what I mean? And just with a parent thing, how could you use? You know what I'm saying? It's just wild, man. Some people are just wild, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm just returning things. I hinder with a lot of logics of giving back to people, and I'm hoping, bro. You come home, you come home. You don't want to come home, you don't want to come home, bro. Why? And I'm sorry to pick on something in genitalia, man. Just express it wise. Just clear my emotion. Just study my gods, man. They're my gods, basically. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all of them, bro. And I'm hoping, I'm praying for ovulation of my space dimension, my prayers, not space, but prayers to really be answered instead of all these classimatic things. I'm 155% sure, man. I'm 100% sure. Somehow I had a great day today with great grades and great things, and and shout out, man. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to be in space to really do stuff like that. I'm already in prayer mode that I could be in apartheid with different colors of camera views coloring me. I mean, isn't that more prayer than being out and losing osteoporosis, testing on white people and such? I don't believe in it and stuff like that, And as far as me doing things, you guys have to understand, man, the nature of watching Bohemian Grove, and Alex Jones tapes and such getting put on by, like people on other internet and such, but I just don't agree with you, like it's already there. I have my I agree with my things, and I hope that people, what I did has nothing to do with my own doing with the things of people, but in actuality, it's what it is, in the nature of my surrounding. You need to like, I need to have some type of response. You know what I'm saying? And it's good. A lot of people don't. I still think at the end of the day, man, we're happy as a people, and shout out to all the fans out on the internet and such, you know what I'm saying? Mine's the darkest level, and it's so weird, actually, to be honest with you. If you study me, man, you guys might be in shock sometimes, deep inside, in and out. You'd be really, really shocked to know that I don't think I'm naturally something like that, And shout out to all the movie directors and all these other movies and such, you know what I'm saying? And they're just taking so much abuse, bro, my dudes, you know what I'm saying? Even and predicating a person in a state or something like that, man, they understood that they can't follow other directions all the time. They always have to. They are other people that are willing to take another capability of risk taking something else rather than falling for what's already shown in the picture. You know what I mean? They don't see the bigger scheme of really watching something else. Be creative with what you have. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time you have to look at TV for TV. You have to be creative with yourself. You're there, but you're fondling with someone else's thing that you can't really grasp. Your own concept. You know what I mean? And if you learn about stuff like that, it's so much easier to express things. And I feel as if, like some people are like this, some people are that, but I still, man, still my dad, my father thing, and man, you know what I mean? Like, and you got this, and you got the conquerors, the black, you know what I'm saying? You have all these people doing all these things, just like Steinbrenner doing this, that. But think about it. When the man conquered from Spanish conqueror of the other side of the world, the far long, and conquered a world of land, of a blind man conquering a land of writers with an own parchment, bro. There's a different story of it behind it. And the more you go, the more you don't know. And the simulation comes out, and simulation do come in and do this, do that, It is our land, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like you have the circulation of the hyperbola people doing the vanlit work and showing something like that. There is a other side of that that has a deeper meaning and a human side rather than sophistication of. There no such thing like that. It's either that or you blown out and getting the land, bro. Do you understand that? 4 conquering lands, bro. 4,000 acres, bro. So there's nothing we could argue or disopinion on the historical aspect either. So I think as a friend and as a cut, I'll give a shout out to my real blood and stuff like that too. But yo, man, just remember, man, the other routes from England, from other conquering, from the Canada side is not too bad at all either, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not good with that side, to be honest. I'm good with the small things, hitting up my own things and my own personal outtakes and such. But yo, man, shout out to the dudes I went to school with. You know what I'm saying? All the dudes I've been a photo. You know what I mean? The chilling days every time. You know what I mean? Just remember that, bro. You know what I mean? A real conqueror is not just a fact. It's just real withering ways of really speaking on behalf the bigger gods. First of all, the God, actually God, and number two reason, creation side, bro. Just remember, whenever I defunct things and things of other point, it is still my brothers, man. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how long, no matter what I do, and no matter what I can't do, there's never a T against things like that, and it's impossible. Do you understand? And the devil is the things of things. It's impossible. I'm 155% sure, man. Anything down things, there's never been a problem anywhere, man. So let's just put it that way. Shout out to my other friends, yo. Like shout out to people that I hung out with. Shout out to people that have been putting me up for days and stuff like that. Just remember that, man. Prayers are always prayer. Verse is something. I'm sticking to my humanly things, and I'm just shouting. I'm closing my video with this, man. It's my call for you guys, and you know what? As far as the other things, and as far as whether or not this is this and that person's that, if you take this and you move that, he's actually a notion of being a CBN kid. You know what I mean? Like something he just made up. You can't shine a light against something like that or double this work of my backs, bathroom pads and this. Have I done this? Man, it's coming up and stuff like that. Yo, I don't know, man. And the loony hits that you've been getting, it's pretty not bad, yo. Times are rough. Everybody liked to go through those times when everybody was shining lights and doing all those things. But the more you're predicating, the more you think who's making the progression, or machines being sent out, or person you being is a person thinking to think out articulation or intelligence, that there is something else out there for other people and fixtures and such. Like just pray to Almighty God, and I still think, I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for being on tube, and I'm thankful for being on air, but just keep me simple and easy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's an upload in the most hateful way, yo. You know what I mean? Just jealousy and hate, and just like the most conquering highness, and like all haze and jack. You know what I'm saying? Like the most high potent grades of weed, just whatever you're flaring up to the hoods and shit, yo. You know what I mean? And like, just doing what you got to do, man. Picking up dros and kicks and stuff like that once in a while, but not really, out taking the partakers. But it's all visually. Think about it. It's all bodily things, which I haven't. There are no sins in real life against anything. Anatomy of things. Do you know what I mean? So, I never risk taking anything outside of it, or listen to my parents not going to this and that. They're always correct, yo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with what I made. I'm happy with what I have. Like no matter what. I'm happy with other people's introductions and other people graduate, people moving up. I seen it all. Like fall, everybody lowering down, everybody moving up, going this transition that. Is it motivation coming from them? Is it really a fountain of something that I express myself as a standstill in real life versus real life of irony and adjacent to this, man? But in the long run, you really don't want to sin against things like that either. Like trying to. There are concepts of I've seen it in real life, like, you know, from the wooden aspect to some other creation. It does explain to you, to a builder, that things like that do exist, but you just don't want to. It exists though, you know, like it does exist, you know, like you know what I'm saying. But from the hood to hood, you know what I'm saying. I went through all this stuff, guys, but we're simple, you know what I'm saying. But high, very high, weird, you know what I mean. And we built, you know what I'm saying. I built, you know, like very. It's all high stuff for me, you know. And I just like to thank you in the long run that you know, gradually in this and this, all these people, you know, you got to cut them off, you know what I'm saying. And the more I borrow and the more I lend out and things that I feel like it's gonna happen with me, it's not gonna happen. It really won't. It's true. It's like messing with things that I haven't gradually made in motorcycle ways. You know what I mean? And a shout out to them too, yo. Just chill out, man. You know, it's like a bro, yo, bro. Either that's a far way or this and that. But Man Street, yo, bro, you just can't beat it. You know, you just beat God. The other way around, vice versa, things and so forth. I did the same thing with learning about stuff. You know, but never have I clashed with myself and such and such. No, I don't know. I'm happy with myself. You know, long run. You know, I've been following all these things, and lastly, I just found out my own existence. You know, like messing with all the stuff and stuff like that. And how gradually it's not a sin to man to build something like that and to understand. You know, I'm happy with myself. I'm thankful for what I have as a thing too. And you know, the long run, you know, as a wall and things are shining and stuff and so forth. I'm really sorry about not being one of the resistant people, but I'm really happy with myself. You know, I'm happy, and sometimes an outstoke of other reason and other things and other drawings of my inner life and such. So I've been pretty much blessed with a lot of things, and you know, no matter what, times are so tough, and things I've done and things are, you know, expression and such forth. This is your heaven, you know what I mean? Like this is the most important things that all things I have are most important things to you, and I'm 155% sure. You know, like you could go through this, you could go through that, man. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? But just keeping nature natural, yo. You know what I mean? You know, the predication of provocating things that you haven't imposed and things or other, you know, things, and, you know, it's not a thing, yo. In the long run, niggas like my best friend on earth, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no one else. Do you know what I mean? He's my real, do you know? You know, the more you think about it, the more you don't, you know. I mean, hypothetically, he answered. You know, the more people build, the poor people you build. It's still my dad. You know, they can come in and do all that stuff, but it is part of what it is. But it's not nice. It's not part of what we are as a person. Separation of being an intrepid as a person, and, you know, enjoying life as a fruitful way of just fun reasons. You know, and identifying other things to create that's just a bigger reason than missing a box in one. You know, I still think that in the long run, man, they taught me what the greater meaning of real destination is, real life of meaning and stuff and so forth, man. You know, I'm 100%, man. Do you know what I mean? I've been going through nightmares because of stuff like this, you know. But well, it's what it is, and it's some people are not, some people are. It's just like being tempted, you know. And you know, I'm thankful for having it, you know. And yeah, I'm 100%, man. I'm buck 155% sure, bro. You know, naturally, just naturally, bro. You know, just don't like, yeah, man. Because you know why? Because lesson be learned, man. How could you remember me for that long for not knowing a person? You know, it's been so tortured those two with those guys outside. You know what I mean? You know, I still don't know. I still, I would like to just forget it. You know. And I'm just thinking, you know, I should just think about stuff and just do my math and just give it out, you know, purpose of living a life and my life and inside cameras and stuff like that. You know, shout out to all the golfers. You know, all that stuff don't work, man. If you don't know how to play things, it's just be unreal. You know what I mean? Like just be on bonkers. And if niggas cocky, there's a problem. You know, niggas stuck in that much pain and that much glory for that long, all in combined and stuff like that. But yo, just think about it, man. How else am I expressive through the outward regarding things? Or, you know, in the most important, predicating way. You know, like things that are important, just like you have to stay in life in a higher way. He's a higher person, man. And it's a fact, you know what I'm saying? And that's what dudes like him deserve to move on, get things like that. You know, I still remember other dudes getting on socks and rumors and this and that. You know, they're like they're like superheroes, you know what I'm saying? And you know, you can't disobey and thinking that you can win over chances and stuff like that. It's what it is and what you do, and you just gotta accept it, you know. I wrote about it, and every time it's every part of ways and such and such. I mean, but in the greater realm, is just highly intelligent. But it is I can't handle that nigga's higher things either. You know what I'm saying? So it pays for itself, bro. You know what I mean? You know, I've been going through that much hell, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm 100% sure, bro. Like it's naturally all. I'm 1,000. 1,500. You'll never know. You will never know. You will never know, bro. You can never know. And on top of that, my babies, man. They're my babies. I've been taking them for that long, man. Do you know what I mean? They will never cause any problems or attack me for those things. It's impossible, sir. Daily and habitually, it will never happen. Do you know what I mean? I'm 100%. Just naturally, just think about it. That you know what I'm saying? You know, like it's impossible. You know, like coming from three worlds different. Yo, how could it happen like that? Yeah. But yo, man, shout out to freaking Lincoln fan and E fan, E fan. You know what I mean? You know, outpulls and other stuff, but it's me, yo. You know what I mean? Breath in, breath out. I want you to clear my ears and hairs out. My ears and clear my justification and stuff like that. I'm in peace. I need sleep. Good sleep. I need a good day of rest and work. I need to start saving. I'm moving on with life for other people that, you know. Real one is that girl right there, nigga. That girl right there, man. It's my real booty, bro. You know, you just need to chill out, man. Do you know? You know what I'm saying? You guys are so hot, yo. You know, things that I went through turmoil, stuff like that, yo, I'm happy. I got the people that got problems with it, people they're still there. They're still doing this. It has to do with the baggage things and things that, but he can't as an animalistic way and things that, you know, shout out to TVs and TV shows and all the things I have, all the things inside the box inside my home. It's like shout out to all of them, you know what I'm saying? You know, it just goes on forever, bro. You know, and I'm thankful, yo. You know, I'm thankful, guys. You know, I'm thankful, man. I haven't caught up with skills of rapping, skills of languages. I'm natural. It's natural to me. No six, yo. How could a box come into handy without the perpetual bullshit being a 6-man award? 6 men. Just remember that there is a rule for 6-man award, yo. That should naturally be for us, man. There's no show, you know? And I think that's the end. Devour and culture, bro. And posturation of historical humanity has never been a posturing against my hindering stomach. And the more the truthful, the more that I am, and the more I take it inside, and the more I become a Korean man or a person of interlocking changes, you'll never have me. And I hope you understand that from point of view and point 2. And point 3, and point 4, point 5, I'm that much greater. And I hope you understand. Please accept me for who I am as a, you know, just a person. But, yo, man, shout out to all my benefactors and all this stuff, yo. And, do you know what I mean? Power to all the people and all things and all creation and all Northers and stuff like that. And, you know, shout out to all the people I hung out with, yo. Just like that, you know, all the things I have, yo. Shout out to all of them, yo. Good looking and thank you for God. Thanks for hope, for everything, for like, peace.